Okay, it's a global acceptable principle that management of community forest or management of common pool resources is attracting participation, and it's a theory that it's being promoted. And this also happens in Uganda. So in 1998, it started via the forest policy document. But there's a problem that is discovered about managing community forest with the participation of local people. They still have problems with elite capture, benefit sharing, and so on. Because of that, we set up a research question to explore some part of this. That how has the creation of the forest, in our case, how has it benefited the local people? How have they drawn benefit? What are the benefits they are able to get? And this is the case. We have 4 villages, Onini, Kibali, and Abanji. And then what is common about this case is that they all depend on agricultural products. They get cash crops, they plant stuff, and they basically depend on agriculture. And another thing about the case is that there are people that come together that they call themselves members that manages the community forest. And it's called the Ongo Community-Based Forest Management Association. There are just 75 members from these 4 villages. And 40 of them are males, 20 are females, 15 are the executive members. So the 75 people that manage this forest are like 10% of the total population in these 4 villages. To be a member in this community forest association, you have to pay 10,000 Uganda shillings to register. Then 5,000 per annum to sustain your membership. What you get for that, you have access from NTFEs, and you get it twice in a week. You can use it for commercial and domestic purposes. But for those who are not members, they don't register. They also collect, but they can't use for commercial purposes. In other words, they can't sell. They have annual general meeting where they discuss issues every year. And it's held at the average of 3 times in a year. The method we apply, as I said, is like social anthropology. It's based on how people perceive like themselves and how they will define things. It's much of people saying how things affect them, not science predicting stuff and deriving inferences. So we use mixed methods of qualitative and quantitative means. Qualitative, we use social semi-structured interviews, then quantitative household questionnaires. For the household questionnaires, we have to sample from the members and those who are non-members. For those who are members, we just use simple random sampling from the profile of those who are members, who registered via a document that we could access. For those who are non-members, we use systematic line transect sampling. I can discuss that with you later. For the quantitative method, we use questionnaire analysis. Household questionnaire, we interviewed people and asked them questions, and we distributed 32 questionnaires to members and 32 to non-members across these 4 villages, remember. And what we did is that, as I said earlier, we used the attendance of those that attended meetings, those that registered, and those that paid their dues. So for the semi-structured interviews, we interviewed 25 people to cut across the 4 villages, and it's informed by the sociology of action that argues that people or community people do stuff that even if it's partially unintentional or intentional, it's based on some rationalization and things that they pass through in their daily lives. So people do things based on some things that affect them. So the findings in a snapshot, we discovered that there is actually not much of socioeconomic differences between people who are members and those who are non-members. Even though the access a little bit differs, that those who are members could sell, but selling also does not really change stuff. So for those who access, majority of things that they could get are the things that are listed above: water and firewood, building poles, thatch materials, and so on. And things that are accessed on the average level are craft materials, herbs, sands, charcoals, food, and honey. So collection, as I said earlier, is done twice in a week. Those who are members and those who are non-members. The only difference is that those who are members could sell. But also, unfortunately, so unfortunate for those who could sell, it really doesn't add up to their lives. In other words, if you are members, you don't really benefit that much. It's just negligible. But for those who are members, the only advantage is that they could collect more stuff. They also could acquire knowledge when they have NGOs around who talk to them and teach them stuff. And because of the social asset of belonging to a local organization, they could wield some social power. And in other words, they could contribute in meetings and so on, because they could form caucus and talk and voice their opinion. But for those who are non-members, those who are non-members acknowledge the fact that even though we don't get as much as they do, there is actually no much of a difference. But they showed a plight that in the future, things will be changed because of the present trend, that it will discover that things are changing. Those who are members are able to get some benefit even though it's not that pronounced. The major problem that we discover is that it's encroachment that is the problem over there. Those who are non-members are encroaching the forest land, trying to muster some benefit and do some stuff. And those who are, and also these people who are non-members will be divided into two: those who are willing, who really want to join, and those who are just unwilling, they don't want to join for any other reason. And then one of the problems in the case is that the benefits are shared equally among these 4 villages, but then they don't have equal number of people. Also, the boundary is a problem. It's not uniform. In other words, there is a need for them to derive or to make up a strategy to actually share the benefit based on some predetermined criteria that will fit the context. Here is a snapshot of the conclusion. Creating the forest actually impacts life. They could assess, but it's not significant at the moment. Then there is also a future anticipation that membership would increase. And also there is a possibility for you to also do research and learn things and so on. It gives room for further research so that you can study how things are changing, how things are passing through time. Thank you very much.